All right. Okay, let me see if I'm live, huh? Now the problem with the things nowadays is like we can't seem to really have a very clear idea whether we are going live or not. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Um. All right. I think we are live. All right, guys. Welcome to Ask Me Anything Sunday session over here. All right, so basically, this is where we go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time to answer your questions about Facebook advertising. Wait, let's see. I think the camera is a bit off, but anyway, so this is where I go live every Sunday night for half an hour to answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So if this is the first time you see me, my name is Jason. I have been helping brands navigating success on Facebook advertising and digital marketing since 2010. Where I used to run an agency since 2010 until 2020. So until 2020, I stopped doing that. And I actually started training and coaching in 2016. So now my business is fully in coaching and training. Like this afternoon, one of my coaching clients was just asking me, Jason, why did you stop doing the so-called agency business? The money is good, right? I mean, actually very true. The money is good, but I think my reason is pretty much about I think I actually enjoy more on looking at more new cases and helping more people solving their issues rather than, of course, who don't love the money, right? Like a lot of you actually, I know that you're running an agency. The money is definitely good, but for me is I think I'm more into getting involved in different cases and different so-called challenges. I think that's the reason why I stopped my agency business. All right, so I hope I answered. But eventually, it doesn't stop me from learning. In fact, now as I'm actually going more on coaching and training, in fact, I would say about 80% into coaching right now. In fact, the beauty of coaching is I get to work with more people from all around the world, as in like I have clients from Malaysia, Philippines, US, UK, Korea, Turkey, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines. I don't know, man. I mean, that's the fun part. I get to learn in a very different way. So from all this learning that I gathered, I wanted to help the community in a better way. So that's the reason why I do this weekly AMA. So how it works is you can actually post your questions on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel, as well as my Facebook group, where I would actually pick them up and answer them over here at one shot. So most of the time, I would not directly answer your questions, except if you're in my Jason Nation group, which is I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So I'm just gonna like come over here to answer your questions. The reason why I do this is because, in my opinion, a lot of questions about digital marketing and Facebook advertising are not as straightforward. It may not be that well communicated via text. That's why I would rather bring it here and answer your questions right away. So you can post your questions everywhere. If you post a question the last week, then I'll answer them this week. But if you want to get more direct, just join me here and post your questions over here. I think we can actually do a lot better, more fun over here, right? So before I want to go into that, I think I have a question posted just now by John on my Facebook group, but unfortunately for some reason I'm not able to bring it over here. But let me read it out for you. So John is asking for CPAS ads. Why is your T1 frequency high if you already applied the exclusion to purchases? Audience size is also big enough. If your frequency is high, now for those who know my two-step funnel, this is where I use at least 2 ads running simultaneously to the audience. And what we want to do here is we will have one campaign always targeting the fresh audience, and the other one is on the retargeting side, where we will retarget people who are interested, who click on our advertisement. And then after that, we will follow them for a period of time, which is not too long, usually within about 7 days, especially in e-commerce, or less. But it pretty much also depends. Like just now, we just set up a campaign for one of my coaching clients that does lead gen for a webinar, a free webinar. That one we can go up to 14 days, because if we want to really reinforce the message and really get the message across, right, we can actually go for slightly longer term. But for e-commerce, I would usually go for a shorter one. Now, John's question is if you are having high frequency. Now, when it comes to the tier 1 campaign, which is the one that is targeting the fresh audience, we always target to have our frequency at below 2. Frequency means how many times on average your audience have seen your ad within 7 days. So within 7 days, yeah, the key idea here is within 7 days. So John, if you have high frequency issue, I want you to go back and check whether it's a 7 day duration. So if it's 7 day duration, okay, then you're still having high frequency. Now, I mean, when I say high is for your tier 1 campaign, the cold targeting campaign, high means you have over 2. Okay, your frequency is more than 2. So in that situation, you are having high frequency. So how do we fix? Okay, usually what we would do to reduce the frequency on our tier 1 campaign is to really apply exclusion. So if your situation is you actually apply purchases, but yet again, you're still having high frequency, I would recommend that you exclude people who have interacted with your advertisement. So you can actually go to Facebook page, and under custom audience, go for Facebook page and go for those people who interacted with the advertisement within a certain period of time. That will help you push more people out from, from seeing the ad. So that will help you reduce the frequency. That's one way to do that. All right. So yeah, if your audience is big, I think this is probably the only issue. But first thing first, we look at whether the duration is correct. And then after that, we will look at, we try to push more people out. We apply more exclusion. So that would probably help you on that. Okay. Right. John, hope I answered the question. Now, okay. So that's a quick one. All right. So I think this is TI, right? I can't really see the comment over here. But then again, all right. I think it's TI. Yes, correct. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let me bring up the screen. So welcome to another Ask Me Anything Sunday night session. All right, I can't see your face, Chiwai. For some reason, I think, Melon still can't fix this. But I think you can actually go to, if you guys are watching this on Facebook page, you try to go melonapp.com/Facebook. See whether you can actually go through this process of approving to show your face in the, in the feed or not. For some reason, I think Melon fixed this, but I think it wasn't really well communicated enough. So a lot of people are still not having it. All right, and okay, now then we have Jimmy over here. What's up, Jimmy? Welcome in. All right. How's the audio today? Is it better? Because I'm using a mic now. I finally get a mic. I know TY has been bugging me about that thing. So yeah. Okay, as usual, I want to do a bit of like air time, because this is my show. I know I can, right? So okay, my podcast. Please make sure you go to my podcast and give me 5-star rating, whether on iTunes podcast, Apple Podcasts, or what's the other one? Spotify. Okay, Jimmy, say loud and clear. Thanks. All right, so this is where I now I do daily. This is a daily podcast from me where I share one snippet every day. So daily episode, except Sunday, it will be the repurposed version of tonight's AMA that I would, once we finish this, I'm going to repurpose this episode as a podcast episode for other people to listen to it. But most of the time, I will be recording the episode on the day itself. So what I'm actually doing right now is, of course, at one point, I'm trying to write my book, which is kind of very much digressed right now, because for the past few days, I have not been talking about Facebook ads analytics, because I'm writing a book using my podcast. So what I'm doing here is every day I will be recording a clip. It's within like about 9 to 10, 15 minutes kind of stuff, within 15 minutes to share about one thing that I learned within the day itself. Because nowadays I get to talk to a lot of people. Like on daily basis, I probably will get to talk to about 3 to 5 people every day. So by talking to these, Facebook advertisers from all around the world, I learn a lot, to be very frank. So I'm using all this material to become my podcast material to share with you guys. So very much about Facebook advertising, sometimes about entrepreneurship, selling, marketing, creating offers, funnel building, email marketing, and digital marketing, YouTube marketing, stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite fun. I mean, we have been seeing quite steady growth of, in terms of listeners, and we also get a lot of good feedback from every one of you. I'm really glad that if you like it, if you have listened to it, and if you have not, then please go over, scan this QR code, and really listen to it. But most importantly, give me 5-star rating. I mean, all right. So that helped me get found by more people. Okay, now Let's go through the first question from Sahar. Sahar posted this question inside the Facebook group, the Facebook page, Facebook Ads Transformation group. Sahar is asking, okay, she's a bit confused about Facebook ads for Shopee. And Sahar, you're asking, when should you make exclusion settings at T1 campaign and setting up T2 campaign? Now, because you think these two steps are the same and you didn't know what's the difference between them. Okay, now let's go through the step-by-step thing. First thing first, if you are running ads on Facebook for Shopee store or running ads on Facebook for any business, in fact, in my opinion, I would encourage you to apply a two-step funnel framework. I mean, I sort of like started the two-step funnel framework many years ago. So it's a funnel, it's a framework where we will build at least two ads, okay, within the same campaign or not within the same campaign. It pretty much depends, but there will be two ads running simultaneously. So the first ad is what we call the T1 ad or tier one ad. So that ad is really to go out and target new people for your business, okay, consistently. And then we will apply exclusion to make sure that, we can always reach the fresh audience. So this is the tier one ad, which is always about bringing in new people. And the other one is what we call the tier two advertisement, which is effectively the retargeting advertisement, where we will be, like following those audience who have interacted with our ad, but yet to become a customer or a lead. So we will follow them for a period of time. Say, for example, if you're in e-commerce for Shopee, for example, we usually go by 3 to 7 days. So let's say if you come to my website, if you see my ad, you click on my ad, and then the tier two ad will follow you for about like 3 to 7 days, just to make sure that I communicate the key messages to you or the USPs to you and convince you and remind you about making purchase, because you actually you had the intention. So that's our tier one and tier two. So back to Saha's question. First question, she's asking, when should I do exclusion? You should do exclusion right at the very beginning. The moment you set up your tier one campaign, once you publish it, you need to apply the exclusion. And that exclusion is applied at your tier one campaign, which is the one that target the fresh audience. So that has to be set up right away. And the tier two campaign, which is to set up the retargeting campaign, is also at the very beginning. The moment you set up tier one and done its exclusion, then immediately you need to set up the tier two, because tier two is effectively the retargeting, and retargeting should start immediately. Now, a lot of people have this misconception about retargeting, where they always thought that retargeting means I'll wait for a week. I will run this for a week. The next week, I start running the retargeting ad. No, wrong answer. In fact, the retargeting should start immediately. Just have to imagine, if today you go to a Shopee store and look at a product and you don't buy, okay, and this product come back to remind you 7 days later, do you think it's too late? The answer is yes. Why? Because most of the time when we are buying things on e-commerce right now, we have very short conversion window. Short conversion window means we will only consider whether to buy from this store or that store for a very short period of time, usually within a week. So when we have short conversion window, you want to make sure you actually convince them within the conversion window. So you just imagine your retargeting only come back 7 days later. Most of the time, you have missed the boat, and the retargeting will become largely meaningless. And that's something that I want you to be reminded, Saha. So I believe you are a student to my Shopee course. So revisit the program and to see whether you understand the rewatch the setup part, okay? Because that I walk you through, and immediately these two things has to be implemented right at the beginning. That's my answer. All right, Saha, thank you so much for the question. All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post in the comment. And of course, I won't be able to review your ad at this level because that's not what we do over here. But any questions about your campaign and whatnot, feel free to pop them in the comment and I'll cover them as we move along. All right. And okay, I want to go to the next question from Shram. I think Shram posted this question on my video about Facebook ads objective for e-commerce, but the question is pretty not related. So Shram is asking, Facebook banned your advertising account without any reason. Exclamation mark. Permanently ban your account. Exclamation mark. How can you appeal? You tweeted and it doesn't work. Now, here's the thing. All right. Facebook can and they will ban your account for a lot of reasons. So basically, when we are running ads on Facebook and Instagram, or rather, we may call them meta advertising right now, you have to really make sure you are playing by their rules. So before you start advertising, you gotta go in and check. There is this thing called the private advertising policy or something related to that lah. All you need to do is just Google Facebook advertising policy, go through that, read through every single piece of them, understand what it can be done, what can't be done, and plan your campaign accordingly. So if you are doing something that Facebook do not allow you to do and they ban you, it's not their problem, it's your problem. All right. So there are a lot of things you can't do, in fact. So first thing first, go through that. Now, if you are banned for the wrong reason, now first thing first, when they ban your account, they will let you know why are you being banned. Why are your accounts being disabled? So they will tell you the reason, and they will always have a so-called a method for you to appear, at least for the first time, unless you really violated the rules outright, like really violently, then you don't blame Facebook for that, okay? So if it's a wrong thing, if it's a wrong decision by Facebook, there should be an option for you to apply. So in order to kind of like get your account back, first thing first, usually if you have, you have not so-called validate your so-called your account or your ID. So the first step is you need to submit your identification, like your ID or your driving license, just to make sure that you are the real person behind the account. Once that is approved, then you will go to the next step, which is to request for review for your banned ad account. So usually, if you did not do anything wrong, within a certain period of time, you should be able to get it back. But if you have done something crazy and totally wrong, violently, like I say, don't blame Facebook for banning you if you are the one who actually started doing the wrong thing on the platform. So yeah. But if it's a wrong decision, like a couple of weeks ago, one of my clients in US just went through something similar. For no reason, the ad account was banned. And only the ad account was banned, not the permanent ban. So he actually went through some review process, requesting for the, for the review and all that. So yeah, he got the account back. It took a week, but then again, at least you get it back. If it's not your fault, you usually can get it back. Okay. Now, basically, TY was actually chipping in, talking about your ads policy violation, suspicious and ad spend suddenly, various reasons. Mostly they hammer your ad first, only after several violations on the ad account. Okay. And TY was saying, wait, was there another one? On the ad level, I think this is also TY, right? Okay, on the ad level, sometimes it is just the AI being stupid. So if you're confident after going through the policies, you appear, it will be reviewed and manually by a person, challenged if you are really sure. That's right. Thank you, Chiwai, for chipping in. Exactly what I say just now. If it's not your fault, follow the steps. Click on the link given, go into the ads manager, look at whatever there is like a red exclamation mark, click into it. They usually give you the steps to do the appear. To request for review, okay? And if you have not done anything wrong, you will get out of the trouble very soon. But like I said, if you are the one who violated the rules, don't blame Facebook for that, okay? All right, thanks GY, and thanks Shram for the question. And let's go to this one. And and this is the next question we have. But before that, I think Jimmy asked a question. Can you still talk to the live support in regards to any issues on ad account? Yeah, if you have the live support, you should be able to request for a chat to let them help you via the chat. And if you have some level, you can actually request for a call. That also can happen. All right, Jimmy? Now, the Reaper is asking, you notice that once they click the picture, it directs it to the Shopee store. How to do that? Now, apparently, Reaper, you are watching my video about how to grow Shopee store with Facebook advertising. I actually did this video about a couple of years ago. I think it was first done in 2020. And to be frank, until now, it is still valid. It is still a video, still a training that gives you the right steps to run ads for your Shopee store effectively. So very simple, Reaper. If you watch the video carefully, I was actually using, first thing, there are two situations if you are running Facebook ads for your Shopee store. First is if you do not have CPaaS access. Now, if you don't have CPaaS access, then you can't use the conversion objective or catalog objective because you don't have the connection to track people who actually go over to your Shopee store directed from your ad. So that's the first scenario. If you have a rather new ad account or rather new Shopee store, then you probably don't have CPaaS. Then the other one is if you do have CPaaS, then you will have a different way of running ads. Now let's take a look at if you do not have CPaaS. I think that's probably your situation. So if you do not have CPaaS, the best thing you can get, from Facebook ads is to drive people who are likely to click on your advertisement or to go over to your Shopee store. So you use traffic objective, and then after that, you can click and go over. I mean, people who see your ad can click and go over if you put the link correctly, which is usually it's either the link to your product on Shopee or the store that you have on Shopee. So it's either way. All right, so that's how you do. We are using traffic objective, but remember, the further you go into the training that you're looking at right now, we also talk about having the tier 1 and tier 2, the two-step funnel framework for Facebook ads for Shopee store. So if you want to go further and understand how to implement the step-by-step, I actually have a course, which is, if you can go to my website, I will put the link in the description where you can actually go to facebookads.com. I mean, Facebook ads for Shopee store, there's a course that I created and it's still relevant. You can still use that. It's quite effective, and it has been enrolled by more than 1,000 people from all around the world right now. It's quite powerful. So if you want to go further, then that will give you the step-by-step. But the Reaper, if you ask directly from your question, I can see the answer is, sorry, let me bring this down. The answer is we are using traffic objective and we are driving people to the Shopee store directly when the person click on the advertisement itself. Okay, so that's that. All right, Reaper, thank you for the question. And I have this question from Coach Salim commenting on my video. This is a very, very long time video that I posted about how to build ManyChat flow for network marketing industry, which I stopped doing that already. And to be frank, last I checked, this video, the structure and the steps being so-called shared inside this video is still valid. So you can still use the strategy or so-called, like whatever it is, the being taught in this video to set up. But I don't do that anymore. I did this program because at that point of time, I was building ManyChat chatbot for quite a number of businesses. We were offering that as a service back then. It was actually earlier, I think it's in 2019. But I built this course in 2020, the year that, when we pivoted our company into a full training and coaching company, because I just built quite a number of chatbot for some companies prior to that. So I was thinking, why not I just build a course? But we stopped doing the service already. We stopped offering the service. So yeah, so this is, you can actually, I think you should be able to find quite a number of so-called freelancers who is able to help you, whether from Fiverr and all these so-called freelancers platform. A lot of them are pretty cool people. You can actually consider working with them. But now I can't help you on this anymore, Coach Salim, because we stopped doing that. Okay. Now, thanks for this question. I think that's all we have at the moment. So basically, I want to talk about Jason Nation. I have about 7 minutes left. If you guys have any question, you can post your questions in the comment right now. But while we are doing that, let me talk about Jason Nation. Okay, now Jason Nation is my latest inner circle program. This is where I will work with, at the moment, we are only opening for 77 people. And Jason Nation, I actually started talking about this in the last AMA last week. And after 1 week talking to a lot of people, in fact, a few of you have already enrolled. Thank you so much for joining. Now we have a very certain basic so-called elements within the Jason Nation so-called community. Okay, so first thing first, Jason Nation is gonna be a new Facebook group. And this is a Facebook group where I'm committed to answer questions and replying to comments directly inside the Facebook group as and when the members of the group post questions. And on top of that, we have a few interesting elements, okay, that is gonna happen. I'm just gonna quickly share with you. Now, the first thing is we have this ad review Thursday. Now, this is an AMA Sunday, right? AMA Sunday means I'm answering your questions, but I will never go into the details of your ad account or your ad setup or your ad creative, your audience targeting, and your, like the metrics. So I don't go to the ad review level, but in Jason Nation, we go to the ad review level. So all you can do is very simple. Before Thursday, post your ad. If you can share the creative, perfect. If you can share the audience targeting and the metrics that I want. Share these 3 things, post it into the Facebook group. On Thursday night, I'm going to go live and I'm going to give you my opinion about, whatever you have posted, to give you some idea about what can you possibly do to maybe tweak your campaign or, analyze your campaign. So the ad review Thursday is the first element. The first one is going to happen on coming Thursday. So that's our first one. Okay. So yeah, you can come in and post your, questions, and, we can start looking at this. So yeah, every Thursday, at least I'm looking at least half an hour to an hour, or maybe more if you have more questions. All right. Then the next element is we're going to have monthly town hall via Zoom. So this is very similar to my previous Jason's Inner Circle. So for those who have been in my Jason's Inner Circle, you will know that at that point of time, we were doing this every 2 weeks. But I realized that every 2 weeks may not be a very good so-called setup, because we may not have that many things to talk about. That's why I separate these two. Okay, ad review Thursday, which is me going live in the group, and monthly town hall is via Zoom, that everybody can come together and we can talk anything beyond the Facebook advertising. We can talk about Facebook advertising, YouTube marketing, digital marketing, Web3 marketing, or even entrepreneurship, anything. Okay, if I have answers for your question, I will do. I mean, if not, we can always discuss, and I'll actually ask my friends, whoever they might be able to answer your question, and I'll bring the answer back to you. So monthly town hall is once a month via Zoom. Everybody in the community can partake. And the next one is I am committed to do monthly free training within the Facebook group. Okay, so that's something that I'm committed to do, where, I mean, I don't know, man, because although I specialize in Facebook advertising, and in fact, I have other than a lot of more things that I can share, like, I can talk about podcasts, all right? I can talk about how to set up, landing page using MailerLite and connect with the automation and everything. I can talk about a lot of details, things like, for example, well, how to connect Zapier on a few things, okay? So these are something that you may be able to do it and figure out on your own, but I will bring my experience and what the method that I use to do certain things. Okay, so I'm committed to do this on a monthly basis. So that's another element. And the fourth thing is something totally that has been around for a while, where we're going to have partners training coming up. All right, from time to time, we will bring awesome people like Ian, like Weng Han, like a few other people like Balkis and all that. These are the people who are specialists in their area, and we will invite them to run training to our community. And Jason Nation members will usually get big discount. As you know, that at one point the discount was even as high as 80% discount. So that's something that I'm committed to do as well. Okay, so that's the fourth element. And the last element, this is very limited. Not everyone will do that, but those who are coming in right now, you'll be entitled for one session of 30-minute one-on-one audit every month. So this is where you and I will go on a Zoom call for half an hour for me to look at your Facebook ads campaign, to give you, like suggestions about what you can do to improve your campaign or tweak your campaign and stuff like that. Now, if you don't want to talk about Facebook ads, you can let me look at your landing page. Okay, you can let me look at your YouTube channel. I can do anything. Anything that I can do, of course, I can do anything. So this session, this one-on-one, I usually charge $197 out there if you want to get this separately. But if you sign up as a Jason Nation member, you are entitled for one session of this 30-minute one-on-one, okay, as long as you remain a member. So this is a monthly subscription. So at this point of time, we are recruiting the first tier of the membership, okay, which we are calling this the Epic Heroes tier. So whoever come in now, you will be at the top tier of the community, and I'm opening for 77 members. Okay, once we reach 77 member, we're going to close this tier, and the tier that we're going to launch in the future, you will not have all these benefit. I mean, you'll probably have a few, but definitely one thing you will not have is the one-on-one. Okay, so this is a monthly subscription. Actually, a few of you dropped me an email asking me, oh, well, how do we go about that? This is a monthly subscription. Okay, you can cancel anytime. All right, cancel anytime. So all you need to do is, you can't join. In fact, I'm not selling you, because I want to make sure that people who join the community are really genuine in terms of learning and sharing. So I'm committed to talk to everyone who are interested to join. So you can't sign up. There is no link for you to buy. You need to go to this link and schedule a one-on-one call with me. Okay, and then we will understand what would you want to learn from the community? And if, of course, if everything is good, then I'll invite you to join. If not, then I will say maybe not now. Okay, so this is about Jason Nation. So here's the link, very simple, just go over. And I just want to quickly look at, no, I'm not talking about a one-on-one audit. All right, let's see. Okay, now we have a question from Roy while we are doing the Jason Nation thing. So you guys can apply for this thing. You can sign up for the one-on-one over here. Now, let me go through this question from Roy. Roy is asking, how much do brands normally spend for a single campaign and how much do you charge? Okay, Roy, I don't charge, okay, because I'm not an agency. I'm not helping clients managing their Facebook ads campaign anymore, not now. And if you ask the question of how much usually is a good, how much normally brands spend, actually depends, okay? I have brands who spend only about 10 ringgit, which is about, how much? About $2 a day. It's fine, okay? And I have coaching client that spends 10,000 ringgit a day, which is about 2.5K US dollar. No right or wrong when it comes to this, Roy. So if you're asking what would be the best or so-called ideal budget to start, my quick answer would be, what's the budget that you feel comfortable starting? Don't stretch yourself, because I know somebody will say that, oh, you need to spend $2,000 a month and whatnot in order to get good results. In my opinion, I don't think so. I would say if you can't get good result with minimal spend, how can you promise you can get good result with a very big spend? So to me, my ideal method would be, let's start running ads, get the numbers in, and analyze what's working and what's not, and we improvise from there. Because definitely when you start running ads on Facebook, you will definitely get some results coming in. So from there, we will find out, are we doing good or not? Okay, and we probably will iterate a little bit, tweak a little bit to find better direction. And until we are more certain that we can slowly scale up the spend and, to do a more stable campaign. But I would say to start, there is no benchmark. Okay, I would say just go for the amount that you are pretty comfortable about. I think that will be a very good method to start. All right, so let's see. That's all the questions that I have tonight. And let me see if I missed anything on the Facebook side. No, I think all good. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining me this week. And remember, we do this every Sunday night at 10 p.m. So join me next week. If you have any questions, post on any videos on my YouTube channel, or actually post them into my Facebook group that you're in right now. Okay, anything will do. All right, wait, before we go, King is asking, okay, do I have course how to make CPAS ads using own website, because you made business directory, you want to advertise each for every listing? King, CPAS is only for Shopee and Lazada. If you are doing it for own website, then it's not CPAS. But if you want to learn this, I have a new course about my two-step funnel framework. You can actually go to my website, go to tribeupacademy.com/courses. Okay, go for the Winning Facebook Ads Academy. That's the latest Facebook advertising course. And inside there, I cover 3 different angles. One is for Shopee, one is for your own e-commerce website, and the other one is for lead generation. But I use 3 examples to so-called demonstrate to you how to set up Facebook ads campaign using the two-step funnel framework. So that will probably give you better idea. All right. So yeah. And King is asking, is it possible to advertise every link of your website? Whatever you want, man. As long as you have big enough budget, you can. Why not? But if you don't, then maybe it's not really a good idea. So yeah, King, yeah. So that's what I probably have for you at this point of time. Go over and sign up to that course. And if there is any question, then you can, maybe sign up for a one-on-one audit with me. So that will be easier for me to understand your situation. All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, if you want to join the community to level up with me in Facebook advertising and beyond, you can actually join Jason Nation. I'm opening up for the Epic Heroes tier right now. We're only allowing 77 people to come in this community at this point of time. So, yep, join me, schedule a call with me, and we can see whether this is a fit for you or not. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Good night. Bye-bye.